It's dark out, early morning, of course. So we got to where we were going, get in the airport, and got on a plane. We had to stop somewhere on the way and get on a different plane. So I remember when we got off the second plane, we were gonna have to take this bus to the boot camp. So, and this was Parris Island, South Carolina, of course. That's where the Marine boot camp was. So, I remember it was dark. It was late at night, and it was storming out. It was raining, and it was a bad storm. And we found out way later that it was like a tornado warning or something, and that the boot camp people had to write home to all our parents saying that we were there, made it safe and fine, okay, because I guess it was a bad storm. And I remember, boy, getting off that bus, getting on them yellow footprints. That's when we first started getting yelled at. They come on the bus, and they started yelling at us to get off, get on them yellow footprints. So we did, and it was like, here we go, do. Oh yeah. So we went through a lot of things that they didn't tell us was going to happen, and I can see why now. I'm going to tell you what happened. So after the yellow footprints thing, we had to do all this stuff, go through all this stuff, like with the clothes and the bags and the everything. Lots of paperwork and everything, and luggage and getting gear and everything. And since it was late at night, and it doesn't matter if it was late at night, because guess what? I remember getting our canteens was one of the first things, and sitting in this room to just do freaking hours of paperwork. And we found out slowly but surely that we had to stay awake for like 3 days. We weren't allowed to sleep. We get in trouble if we fell asleep. So it was those 3 days with no sleep. We don't know what the heck they was doing to us, but we didn't know which way it was up. Couldn't hardly walk, and it was hot down there because it was summertime, and so it was real hot and humid. And I remember we were going to our building where we were going to be sleeping and doing everything, and I remember seeing all these big bugs, like giant cockroaches or something. I don't know what they were, but they were big bugs all over the place, all over the sidewalk. And I think it was like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and there was lots of bugs down there. Oh my gosh. And I hate bugs, so I was real scared. So, and I remember when we finally got settled in where our bunks were and everything, we had to learn the rules the hard way. Yep. We found out we wasn't getting ever much sleep. So we woke up very early. It was still dark, and went to bed probably late at night. I don't know what time. I don't think we had any clocks anywhere. We weren't allowed to wear watches, so I never knew what time it was ever. Just did what they said. They said it was breakfast time. We'd have to hurry up, get out of our bunk, and stand in front of our bunk, and had our foot locker in front, and we had to stand in front of there, right like attention, and we had to count. And everyone would count our number. We'd go up, and they want to make sure we were all there, I guess, like attendance. So we did that, and we had to hurry and get dressed real fast. Had to get dressed because we had to go to breakfast. So we had to put our, camels on, and a lot of us, I remember it was funny because if we weren't dressed, and they would count down, and they would count down from like 30 or something, and they would skip numbers, and they would go fast and skip numbers on purpose. And so by the time they was done counting, we weren't allowed to move no more, whether we had our clothes on or not. So I remember some of us sometimes would only be like half dressed, and maybe their pants would be down or something, and we'd have to still walk walk to breakfast like that, and it was terrible. It was hard to do that, and we had to walk in formation and had to sing these songs, like 6 to the front and 3 to the rear, and with our fingers, and the breakfast, the food there wasn't so good. Ugh. And the breakfast, we had the milk every day. Every day, the milk was like spoiled, and it was nasty. So I don't know what the heck they were doing down there, but the milk was spoiled every day, so nobody could really use it. One girl had to use orange juice or something. She put it in her cereal. She was that desperate. So that was weird. And then you know what? When we were allowed to go to the bathroom, we had to go fast. Like I'm saying, we had to go very fast, like in a few seconds. So we'd be all in line outside the stalls and trying to hurry each other up. Hurry, hurry, yelling, whoo. And the big thing was, the funny thing was that if someone was going to poop or something, they'd just be like yelling outside the stall, drop and plop, drop and plop. So that was like a saying going around. It was, ugh. Anyways. And boy, if you asked to ever go to the bathroom, they didn't really want to let you. So they would make it hard and difficult. They would make you do an about face, obviously, to walk away from them. And I remember one time, I apparently didn't do it right or good enough for them, and I had to do it like a billion times. They kept telling me, nope, do it again, nope, do it again, whatever it was. And I remember, like, I started crying after a long time because I was thinking, I'm going to have to do this forever. So this is going to suck, and I got to pee. Yeah, I think they were just messing with us sometimes, but it don't matter. We were too scared to we were all scared, because we would all get yelled at so much. Obviously, that's what they do. They're supposed to do that. That's the whole thing, is they do nothing but yell at you. And you always feel bad. And so a lot of times we'd be like punished. They call it quarter deck. And that was like maybe a couple individuals or individual. But we all got in trouble, all for a group. We had to do like hold our leg, lay on our back, hold our legs together, feet up in the air, like 12 inches. Was it 6 or 12? Might have been 6. It was probably maybe 6 or 12, and I can't remember, and because it was so long ago. And they would come around with the ruler and measure and make you do it the right exact, and they would make you do it forever and ever and ever, and it would be very difficult and very, very painful, very painful. And most of us would be crying in pain, because it was hurting. So we were crying. Oh, that's all you heard. The whole place was just damn crying. I mean, maybe because we were girls. Maybe the boys didn't do that. I don't know. But that was painful. And so yeah, you had to eat fast too. If you weren't done, too bad, you had to throw it away. So we had to eat fast, we had to pee fast, we had to get in trouble and we knew they was lying one time. One time we was all out doing PT, and all of a sudden they were acting all mad, and they came back and took us all in where our bunks were, and they said, who did this? And the place was trashed. Mattresses on the floor, foot lockers overturned. It was we could tell they did this, and they were just trying, because obviously none of us did it. We were all so we got punished. So it was bad. It was bad. And then we were in the sand pits, and they had the fire ants in there. And if you were allergic to them, you had to go home. If you're allergic to milk, you had to go home. You had flat feet, you had to go home. You couldn't have any of that stuff in there. So, anyways, we had to take a swimming test. I never really was good with the water. I almost drowned once or twice in my life prior, so I didn't like to swim too much, really, and I wasn't that good. So the swimming test was scary to me. So we had to do all these things, jump in the water and swim and go off diving boards with all our gear on, everything, heavy, 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 and then we had to get out of the water. And let me tell you, the first time I did it, I failed because I couldn't do it, and I couldn't do it. and it was 120 degrees outside. 120 degrees. We had to march in these pontoons because it was raining, humid, and it was hot, and we were so dehydrated. And we were forced to drink all this water real fast and put on top of our heads when we were done. And then we had to do the swimming test, and we're all exhausted already. So we had to do that with the gear. And, well, anyways, I just basically suck anyways. I failed the first time, but I had to go do it again, I think 3 days later, and the second time I passed. Good thing. Or else I would have had to go home, I bet. Or no, they took you to some PPR, I don't remember what it was called, but people to have to like rehabilitate or something to get in shape enough to do the things you had to do. Like if you couldn't run the girls was 1.5 miles in a certain amount of time, and if you couldn't, you had to go to the thing to get in better shape or something. So, which means you'd have to stay in boot camp way longer. And a lot of girls had to go there, whether it was because they were overweight or not in shape or, I don't know. So, the rifles, the drills, all that stuff was good fun. But just to get in the yell at, I would cry all the time, because I cry if any time anyone yells at me, I'm going to cry, because I'm a baby, I guess, so I can't help it. If I hear yelling in my ears, it makes my eyes cry, and I can't help it. So that's just how I am. Oh, well. Anyways, I was thinking about musicals earlier today, and I was just thinking of a song it was just fun to sing when I was a kid, because it's one of those, it's not like a great song, but it's fun to sing along to because of the way the words are, maybe. But anyway, someone do it for you, okay? It's how do you solve a problem like Maria from Sound of Music? Well, who ain't never seen that? So, okay. How do you solve a problem like Maria? How do you catch a cloud and pin it down? How do you find a word that means Maria? A flippity jibbit, the world of a wizard cloud. Many a thing you know you ought to tell her. Many a thing you Okay, I'm having my mind blank now. But how do you make her stay and listen to what you say? How do you keep a wave upon the sand? Oh, how do you solve a problem like Maria? How do you hold the moonbeam in your hand? Here's my favorite part. When I'm with her, I'm confused, out of focus and bemused, and I never know exactly where I am. Unpredictable as weather, she's as flighty as a feather. She's a darling, she's a demon, she's a lamb. Oh, gosh. She'd a pester any pest, drive a hornet from its nest. She'd a throw a whirling dervish out of whir. She is gentle, she is wild, she's a riddle, she's a child, she's a headache, she's an angel, she's a girl. Yeah, and then it goes on with the chorus again. But, you know, I'm so upset I'm ruining this, because I had it all together, and I don't know. I'm nervous, so my mind go blank, and I can't do it. I'm sorry. I ruined it. I'm sorry. Oh well. Damn. Oh, that sucked. See, I told you I suck. Oh!